Welcome back to Theme Park Wizard. We're live on YouTube for member-only comment and Twitter for everybody with the OG55. How are you, OG?
I am doing fantastic, Mr. Wizard. We have a lot of theme park news. We got Disney, we got Nas. There's a lot going on. I'm excited to talk shop with you.
Young blow, but I'm built like an OG.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's do it. So we are here today, and guess what? Tiana finally opened. OG finally after all this talk and all this commentary. It finally opened at Walt Disney World. I'm curious about the general public's reception. They're not on Twitter, so we don't know. But I mean, the virtual queue seems to be filling up, so it seems to be at least popular on the first day. What do you think, OG?
Yeah, it seems like from what I've seen, they had a really successful first day. I was actually getting a little worried there for a few weeks leading up to this day because, it was breaking down a lot, and it was breaking down, I think, a lot more than even for a what do they call it?
Yeah, soft open. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was kind of concerned. I was talking about it a lot on my channel as well. But it seems like yesterday went off without a hitch. They did close down for a little while, I believe, due to weather. But Splash Mountain closed also during the weather. That's just the nature of the attraction. Also, I'm kind of surprised. A friend of the channel, Rogue Attraction. I don't know if you're familiar with Rogue.
Love him.
Rogue Attraction. He's been very critical of the retheme for a while now, and he tweeted out, and he was on our live show last night in the chat, saying he gave the retheme, he wrote it, and he gave the retheme a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I'm like, what? That's wild. Yeah. So I mean
that's crazy. If he's so critical, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, at least, he gave it a shot and he ended up liking it, I guess, a lot more than he thought he would. So I think the reception is going to be good with this one. There's obviously going to be the fringe elements in the community where, they're not going to let go of Splash Mountain. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to happen. But I think for the most part, people are happy with how it turned out. Is it perfect? No, absolutely not. But point to an attraction that is, So.
Yeah, I think most people are just excited to have the log flume back open again, especially because it missed the hot summer in Florida. So now it's gearing up for it's hot now, so they have their water ride back, which is, I think, probably most important to most people.
Yeah, no, exactly, especially in Florida, man. And you're heading out to Florida in a few months, from what I'm hearing.
Yes, December. Thank goodness, I'll miss all the heat, but we'll be there for one day for our cruise to the Caribbean islands.
Nice. Yeah, dude, you're gonna have a blast out there. I mean, it's amazing. You're hitting up Walt Disney World and Universal, from what I understand.
So this time it's just Universal because it's just literally one day. The next year will be Walt Disney World and Universal.
Nice.
Back 4 years, and OG, you'll be there next year.
Oh yeah, we're going to Epic Uni. We are definitely going. Good. It'd be fun. I want to see Dark Universe.
Yes, we'll be riding the Monsters ride together.
Yes, we will.
We'll be mind blown when we come out of it.
Yeah, well, and the one thing that I like about that attraction, and you were right, you actually called it, the KUKA arm technology is a little different. The vehicles are a little different than the Potter ones. The Potter ones have that claustrophobic, cubby hole.
It over you, but this one's pretty wide open, so it should be much less claustrophobic for it.
Oh yeah, dude, I'll ride this one all day long. I have no problem with it. It looks really cool. The monsters area, it's funny. The monsters area,
animatronics.
And animatronics, and the thing is that I was really critical of Dark Universe at the announcement because I was unsure. It's a 100-year-old franchise. Are these monsters going to resonate? You know what? I think it's going to resonate like crazy. I think it's going to be one of the more popular in the entire park, based off of the execution alone. I mean, based on what they're doing with this thing, I think it's going to be incredible.
No, on that announcement day, it was the only time that the Epic Universe site crashed because everyone was going to the site. It crashed for like about 10 minutes. It was the only time after any announcement so far. So interest must be skyrocket, at least in that particular spot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've noticed that too, Wizard. Like I noticed that just on Twitter and stuff, and just in general with our community, the energy and the hype for that particular land was higher than any of the other announcements that we've seen. You know, more than Celestial Park, more than the Dragon stuff. I think the Dark Universe really.
Everyone besides Sean Nyberg just loved it.
Yeah, Sean wasn't too impressed.
Oh, Mr. Nyberg, he's a funny man.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. I think for Universal it works really well though, because that is their bread and butter. The monsters are kind of like their I don't know, like they're like, you know, what Disney has with the princesses. The Universal monsters are Universal. It's very much the foundation, the core of their brand. So it's smart to include them, and we'll see how it goes. But it's kind of interesting because this is like the first time I think we've seen like a horror based sort of theme park permanent edition. I mean, we've had things here and there like Halloween Horror Nights, obviously, but that's like a seasonal thing. This is a permanent thing. You know, it's be interesting to see how that all works out, you know?
Yeah, it'd be crazy. And it's funny. It's crazy that the monsters didn't get their own like land or even a ride in any Universal park until now. You know, after what 60-something years, that's insane.
It's crazy. It's like when Disney, it took them how long to build a Mickey ride after all these years? It's like,
I know, that was also surprising. You think to be the ride road to Mickey Mouse and every single one of his parks, at least Disneyland, but just all the way until 2023 was at almost 70 years to get one. That's insane.
It's crazy. I'm still waiting for my boy Oswald to get some love, but you know.
Oh, I know. Now, would you want a ride based on walls, like a dark ride based on like with the walls animatronics and stuff?
Ooh.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
You know, yeah, if they did like an attraction kind of like the Great Movie Ride, right? Maybe the Great Disney Movie Ride where you go through and there's the Walt animatronics sort of talking like about
narrating. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he can tell you the story of like, you know, the behind the scenes of like Snow White and things like that. I think that could be interesting actually. That's an interesting idea, Wizard. Very interesting idea.
Because you know, he's the guy. He's the guy, you know.
Well, and there's rumors, well, strong rumors, not even rumors, really. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. It's quietly confirmed that we're getting a Walt animatronic in Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Now, that's interesting. I support that. I think that Walt loved Lincoln, obviously. He respected Lincoln. I think it's a good idea to have him in that kind of introductory role and to introduce Lincoln. My only fear, though, is Disney, you better nail it. You better stick the landing with this Walt animatronic because the fans are going to be watching. I mean, you have to nail this. You cannot. Oh, man, it's a risk. It really is. It really is a risk, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they got it because I remember one of those permits was $5 million. And you know, that's a lot of money. So I feel like they're taking a lot of time to close for forever. And so I think they're really taking time to curate perfect animatronic and perfect type of setting for that. Because they know it could be a little controversial to some people.
Oh yeah, and they probably want to get it. I haven't heard any timeline as to when it'll be open, but I'm imagining this would be an offering for the 70th anniversary, which is coming up. So
yeah, I feel like either 70th anniversary or you know that'd be cool, like a D23 surprise, like surprise. Lincoln's open and go right over.
Yeah.
Man.
That would be cool.
Speaking of D23, you're having an OG55 meetup.
Yes.
On Chip.
Yes, we are. August 17, downtown Disney, 4 p.m. Our very first OG55 meetup. And yeah, we've been getting a lot of support on that, actually. I'm kind of actually a little bit surprised at the feedback we got. So it'll be a lot of fun. And from what I hear, Mr. Wizard will be there.
Oh yes, I'll have to be your security just in case you have any crazies that try to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be our bodyguard, Wizard.
That's right. You never know who's gonna infiltrate this OG55 meetup and try to spin on you. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, but that's all. I think you're gonna have at least 100 people.
Really? Wow. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would be incredible if we did, but we'll see. You know, we'll see.
You should run a poll. Who's planning to come? And then I bet you at least 100 are gonna vote yes.
Nice. Well, I hope you're right. I hope as many people can come as they can. It'd be fun. It'd be really fun.
Is it downtown Disney, or are we going inside the park, or just downtown Disney?
Well, we chose downtown Disney because not everyone has it. It all depends on people's access to the parks. So
okay, true.
Yeah, there's blockout dates, and some people don't have passes, and there's different tiers and all that stuff. So not everyone can kind of make it on certain days. So we figured downtown's open to everybody. So that might be the easiest way, so everybody can be included.
And luckily, OG's going to treat us to Din Tai Fung, so that'll be
yeah. I'll treat everybody with Wizard's credit card. Absolutely.
Okay, I got Lisa and Seraphim to come over, and they're going to treat us at Din Tai Fung for all of us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lalisa probably has that money in her seat cushions,
That's right, man, because Lisa's rich.
Oh yeah.
Man. Now D23, that's the day before. No, week before. And we're coming up. It's coming up kind of quick.
It's coming up August. I mean, we'll see what happens. Look, I think they're going to announce a lot this time around just because a couple of reasons. Number one, I mean, Josh, like I said before on my channel, Josh is in contention. He wants to be the next CEO. He's got to come on that. He's got to get on that stage. He's got to deliver. He's got to make fans happy. He cannot afford another dud expo. He can't get up there and have everyone on the internet talking about how he didn't deliver again. So I think he's going to make a lot of announcements. I'm cautiously optimistic. The other thing, though, is that even if we get the announcements, we need stuff, because right now I think the trust between the fans and Josh has been broken. It's been damaged. He needs to give us something that sort of solidifies that, yes, I'm announcing this stuff, and yes, this stuff is actually going to be built. So yeah, however he can do that, you know what I'm saying? But he needs to give us some sort of assurances, because it's kind of like Kathleen Kennedy. Maybe not as bad as that, but with Kathleen Kennedy, it's like she'll announce, Star Wars announces projects all the time, and the fans are like, yeah, we'll believe it when we see it. We can't get to that point with Disney park fans, So he has to come out, announce the stuff, but also give us what's the word for it? The confidence that it's actually going to happen. It's not going to be, canceled or forgotten about.
Yeah, and so the best thing you would do is they come out there, they announce a start date. Like, all right, this thing, Tropical America, starts next month or in January, and then there's a hard date. This will close. Dinosaur will close January 7th. That's better than saying it's coming whenever.
Yeah. Well, we saw what happened with the Avengers e-ticket, right? So that one they announced, and I understand, look, there was issues that came along, external stuff that I understand, right? Because they announced it, I think, in 2019, and then we had the pandemic, just months after that, and then we had
Boseman, unfortunately, passed away.
Yeah, and Chadwick
was in Wakanda. It seemed like, so that would have been weird.
Well, yeah, it's a great point. Chadwick unfortunately passed away. We also changed CEOs in the meantime. There was a lot going on, so I understand that, but we can't have another situation like that, the Avengers e-ticket, where there's a bunch of uncertainty around these announcements. They got to come through. Hopefully, we get some news on this Pandora thing that we're getting.
Yeah, and I think also the Avengers e-tickets, I don't know if you saw, I think WGWN News today or something, Hong Kong looks like they're moving forward soon. They filed some documents for their Avengers e-ticket, which I believe is the same as ours or something similar. So I feel like I'm pretty confident that since they're moving forward there, I think we'll get some information on ours next month, in a couple months, which would be quite lovely, because, there's some movement going on over there.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because that concept, the concept art for that King Thanos attraction, which it looks like that's what Hong Kong would be getting. It seems like, I feel like that ride system is going to be the same ride system as the Peter Pan ride at Disney's seats.
It looks like the vehicles look like it.
Yeah, it looks very similar, and that it's kind of like Disney's version of Transformers, I guess. And then they would actually, from what I understand, with the Japanese, the Tokyo Disney clause, where you can't copy or clone for 5 years, it technically wouldn't be a clone because it's not Peter Pan. It's a different IP. So I think they would be able to kind of skirt around that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I heard some from these movie sites on Twitter. So I heard that that Avengers 6, the Secret Wars or Avengers 5, one of those coming up. I heard that a King Thanos variant will be like in there, so it makes sense to start on the movie now or the ride now, because Avengers 6 opens up in 5. I think it's 2026, right? So then you can kind of open up the ride if you start like now, and then open in 2026, kind of tie in with the movie if King Thanos really is in Avengers, because that'd be a nice little movie synergy tie-in over there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Disney's all about that flywheel, so that it wouldn't be surprising what they do. So it's gonna be interesting. DCA needs that attraction. They need to finally kind of like give Avengers Campus a big e-ticket. And then also if they do put Pandora in DCA, how they're going to fit that with California, I don't know. We don't know the storyline for the next upcoming movies. There might be some sort of California tie-in that we're not aware of. Could be, but I don't know. but if we get that Avengers e-ticket and we get Pandora, I mean, okay, now DCA is now doing something, now it's fleshing out a little better, because really without really the only ride right now that's an e-ticket, in my opinion, is Radiator Springs Racers. There's really not much else at DCA. It's a bunch of C and D tickets, and they need more.
And also Radiator Springs Racers is like one of the only ones that's kind of like everyone can ride. Like sometimes people may be too scared for Guardians or Incredicoaster, and those are big rides. But that and Grizzly River Run, and some people river may not want to get wet. But so Radiator Springs Racers is really the only one that like the whole family can really, if they meet that ride, like ride all the time without issues. It's not too scary. It's not too this, not too that. So DCA needs more of those, like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Everyone can ride that. It's pretty enjoyable for everyone. It's not for little kids, not for adults. Kind of like for everyone. And definitely they're lacking something like that. So hopefully the Avengers and the Pandora, at least Pandora, because that seems like it's the boat ride there. Usually boat rides everyone can ride. Will really increase the appeal of that park, because it's as something goes down, which racers and Incredicoaster go down quite often. There's not too much else to ride, at least big rides. So everyone else filters those other 4, and the wait times skyrocket. So we need some more attractions, kind of spread out the love a little bit, spread out the crowds when something goes down. Because even for refurbishment, Radiator Springs Racers had its first refurbishment in really 10 years, like last summer, like an actual lengthy one. And it feels they can't take many of these things down, because all the crowds will explode and wait times will skyrocket for the other few things there. So yeah, DCA needs some love. It needs some big love.
It needs some big love. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I think Disneyland, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but because everyone's favorite park is Disneyland, I understand that. But Disneyland has gotten a lot of investments over the past few years. We just got Galaxy's Edge. When was that? 15 acres added to the park. 2019. That was only like 5 years ago, And then we got a Toontown reimagining with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is probably a D+, maybe an E-ticket, depending on, it's subjective, but it's a big ride. And Disneyland has gotten enough, I think, lately. I think DCA needs to focus. Oh, and Tiana's, exactly. And Tiana's. So I think it's gotten enough love for now. I think we really got to focus on DCA, fleshing that park out and bringing it up to par. I mean, DCA, they were off to a really good start back in 2012. I mean, it was really starting to come into its own, and they kind of forgot about it, since then.
Yes, hopefully get some nice announcements there. And I know it's not tough topic, because then everyone goes, well, look at Tomorrowland. And that's a good point there. But man, there's too bad. I wish they would work on multiple things at once. Usually I know they do one thing at a time, but I feel like there's so much that needs to be addressed, like at least Hollywoodland and Tomorrowland.
Well, that's another thing, Hollywoodland. I mean, we've speculated on my channel, what they can do with that. I have a feeling, and I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on this, Wizard. I have a feeling that they're going to get rid of Hollywoodland altogether and put Zootopia in there. Because if you did that, right? If you put Zootopia in there, you don't have to worry about the monorail beam, because it's an urban setting. So it fits fine in an urban environment, cityscape environment, right?
And they have that, they have the little train thing in Zootopia. That can be the monorail.
Exactly. They already have, they have a monorail type system in the movie. You can keep the red car trolley because that's going through another city. It makes sense. I have a feeling Zootopia might be the thing, you know, and then they can push out the land into the bus load unload area, give it a few more acres. I think there's like, I don't know how many acres are in that bus load area, probably 5 or 6 if I'm not mistaken. But you can probably put a nice little show building in there for the biggie ticket. I don't know. I think Zootopia might be it, but we'll see. We'll see. Some people think Zootopia is problematic. You know, the franchise is problematic, so they might not want to build that in California. So I don't know, but they have the characters out in DCA. And what was that?
It's problematic stuff. I feel like at some point there's like a line, like what's really problematic, like what's so problematic that you just can't do it, and like what's like a little problematic. You know, like you can find problematic things in everything. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I agree.
The Peter Pan refurbishment, they're doing Walt Disney Legacy Lab saying, "Oh, I hope they finally take out that scene." And maybe okay, it's an old ride, so I'm sure they can do it. But I mean, you can look everywhere, and I feel like there's especially Disneyland. This is a very old park from 1955. I mean, things are not the same as in 1955. So I feel like, you know, I hope they don't do something not because it's problematic. I hope they do it because it's just not popular instead of not problematic. They're problematic, you know?
Yeah, there's a fine line. You're right, Wizard. There's a fine line. If you can find something with everything. You know, nothing has a perfect history or whatever, and you have to really be, you know, you can't go in there and like, oh, well, that thing has this one element that's problematic, so change it all. You know, you're going to offend somebody's, you're never going to have a situation where nobody's offended, you know, so you can't, if you did that, you would have nothing, you know, so you're right.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Rise of Resistance is problematic because the scene where Kylo Ren turns into like force chokes or uses the force on us. Oh, abuse, you know, like
abuse. And what about and Tiki Room, and you know, there could be an argument made that, you know, there's a lot of stereotyping in that attraction and things like that. It's like, you know, you can just about with any attraction you can find something. So you just have to kind of
Goofy Sky School because that's a nothing attraction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can bulldoze that ride.
Please, it's gonna I feel like it's actually going to kill me every time I go on this. But like. That thing is not safe. I guarantee you. I try to go but yeah, I hope they. I like Zootopia. I do. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool addition to DCA. I think that IP fits DCA. It doesn't fit Disneyland. It fits DCA totally. And they've already been kind of testing those characters in that park in that San Francisco bathroom row. And they've been there for a while. So clearly they seem to be happy with the reception the characters are getting in that park. And Disney tends to do that. They kind of beta test this stuff. They'll put characters in certain areas to see how they work or don't work. I think there's a good chance we get Zootopia. And if they're going to do anything with Zootopia, they might just replace Hollywoodland. Hollywoodland's been an issue for like pretty much since the beginning. So it might be best just to sort of replace it, you know?
Yeah, and one good thing about the Zootopia is because that tall skyline acts as a nice buffer between the outside world, so it can wherever they put it, like like if they took out your favorite Pixar or the Incredicoaster and put it there, that would easily solve the sightline issues because they have this massive skyline over there.
Oh yeah, and you know how OG is with sightlines.
Oh yes.
Got your ass.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in all seriousness though, I'm not a big, I am a stickler for that stuff. And like, I've been critical of the Universal stuff, but even Disney, like even more than the Universal stuff that I have been critical of, the Disney stuff is even more egregious for me. Like the Pixar Pier and how you can see the convention center behind it and things like that. I think Disney should take a little more care.
Power lines. I can't believe they didn't underground the city didn't underground those big power lines. That's
terrible. It's terrible. Well, you know, during that era, you know, when Michael Eisner, he decided, okay, we're going to build DCA and we're going to use a coaster that you can see through as the berm. That made no sense to me. That made no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, but Zootopia pretty good. And the ride, same kind of like Mickey Minis and rides combined, something that everyone can go on. So that's exactly people eater that California Metro needs. especially because they seem to be taking entertainment away, at least from Avengers Campus. Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. So hopefully DC gets some love, and Disney World, I'm sure will get some love too with the Tropical Americas thing and the Beyond Big Thunder thing. What do you think is going on beyond Big Thunder? Because rumors of a copy of Raider Springs Racers and Coco, or what do you think is going on over there?
I really hope it's Coco. I think Coco is a beautiful franchise that would fit really nice in that setting. I hope it's not Cars Land, or not even Cars Land. I think it's just going to be the attraction, Radiator Springs Racers. I don't know. Pixar is kind of funny because I think certain Pixar franchises fit in the castle parks, certain Pixar franchises don't, right? Coco, I think fits beautifully. I think even something like Ratatouille. I know it's in Epcot, but you could even fit a Ratatouille in a castle park. Brave, Merida, perfect. Cars, for some reason, doesn't feel like a castle park to me. And to have that sitting there behind Big Thunder, I mean, the rock work would look really nice, but with all the cars zooming around, it would just be odd to me. I'm not a big fan of that idea at all. I mean, if you're going to do something, put like a Latin America thing. I think that would be the way to go with Coco. So that's kind of how I would see it. I mean, there was rumors that Encanto maybe, but now that's going into the tropical Americas over in Animal Kingdom. So.
And what do you think about Moana and Adventureland?
Oh, I love that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's where she should go. That's perfect for Adventureland. I think that's a great property for that. She is a powerhouse right now. That franchise is huge. I think Moana 2 is going to do like really well at the box office. I think it's possible. It might even beat Inside Out 2, which is crazy because Inside Out 2 is doing bonkers. But Moana is a more popular franchise, and there's going to be more hype leading up to that one. I think it's going to be massive. But yeah, Moana, absolutely. Adventureland would be beautiful. I wish we had more room in our Adventureland to do stuff like that, but unfortunately, we're kind of boxed in.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, maybe Moana might go in DCA or something now.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, maybe that would be interesting.
But the same thing, like a boat, the same type of long-term boat ride. Because I feel like DCA needs one of those.
Exactly. Yeah, DCA needs more of those kind of those 4-quadrant like family. Everyone can do them kind of attractions. So, yeah, that would be interesting actually to have Moana, that franchise in DCA. That'd be interesting.
And use some of the Disneyland Forward expansion plot there and put like the big volcano. That'd be really cool. I think that'll be. I like this. Come on, Daddy Josh, do something.
You know what I'm saying? Or you can even do like for DCA, you can even do like almost like a Latin Fantasy Springs in the expansion pad where you have Coco, Encanto, and even like the 3 Caballeros or something, like multiple Latin IPs in one like kind of, Latin area. That would be kind of fun. And that would fit DCA's theme, California, Latin culture. I mean, it goes together perfectly. So something like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, another one, DCA went 23 years and don't have any type of representation for the Latin American in terms of a ride. They have like every year at the Halloween, but I think there'd be a whole ride based on that because they have some wonderful properties to choose from, and that is the one thing they could add in there that's California culture.
I don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, we get like the temporary stuff. Like they do have the Plaza de Familia, I believe it is, with Coco and stuff during certain times of the year. And stuff like that. But I mean, we need a permanent Latin area, and well done too. Like, to have like really beautiful, like maybe Mexican architecture. You can have like outdoor street vendors cooking food. That'd be perfect, man. And they're just, I don't know. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. And there would be such a huge market for it out here in California.
Oh yeah, that would be swamped. I mean, that'd be incredible, man. But who also has a Latin American land? Fiesta Village at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yes, they do.
And that's a beautiful one.
Yeah. Oh, no, they do it really well. The Latin area at Knott's is really well done. And good food, too.
And Knott's just opened Camp Snoopy 2 days ago. Well, they half opened it. They pulled a Disney where they did the half open something and do the phase 2 later, I guess. But boy, the concept art looks so nice, and it seems to be there's some problems with the opening. OG, have you seen those pictures?
I have. I saw that eating area, which is like,
yeah, and that's where that wonderful stage was supposed to go. So, now Terrible.
So is that not where? I mean, are they not going to put the stage there now, or is it done? Is that what it's going to look like, or do we know?
I hope it's temporary, and I hope they put the stage there later. But even if it's temporary, they should at least provide a covering because I mean, look, it's currently what I'm looking at. See, I'm in Woodland Hills here. It's 80 degrees, 11 o'clock. It'll be 90 today. I mean, who wants to sit out there with the sun blasting in your face at 90 degrees? Just put out like some tarps or something. Like, I don't know who would want to eat out there.
Yeah, it's a weird decision that they just opened it like this. And it's interesting too because usually people come down pretty hard on Disney, obviously, but I don't really see people come down too hard on the other stuff like Knott's. But I've been seeing a lot of pushback on social media from people saying that this has been really botched, the rollout for this. And they should have just waited until at least more of it was ready. And people were complaining it looked cheap.
On the entrance side, you can see like the two little stilts or posts with no sign. The posts are sticking out of the rock like it's very ugly.
It's crazy. And then you have the Mystery Lodge, which we don't know what's going to go on with that. You have the Montezuma coaster thing that's been, who knows what the update on that is, right? I mean, it's open, it's not open.
That one, I think they actually are working on. It's supposed to open in 2025. They gave an update a few months ago. And I wonder if they took some of the funds from this and put it over there because that is kind of strange. I mean, you have things still behind the construction walls. Then, the coaster is open, and the coaster suffers from the pets problem where where should be a bench seating, but they have that partition thing. And here, if you're not a child or if you're just a little slightly above average adult, you can't fit on that thing, which is a pretty bad decision there.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been having some issues and now it's really uncertain with them because now they've merged with Six Flags. So what's going to happen now? Who's going to, like, that's the thing, like, is the Six Flags kind of culture going to take over? Or is more like the Cedar Fair culture going to take over? We don't really know, but it's a big, Knott's for me is a big question mark right now on the future of Knott's, and they're making some weird decisions. And with the new management team coming in, it's anyone's guess at this point.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm back to that coaster there. We're doing about 4 to 5 minute dispatches. So they're waiting like 80 minutes to get on this thing. It's just a small little kiddie coaster, which is I don't know why it takes 4 minutes to launch the coaster that goes around for 10 seconds. I don't know what's going on with the operations at Knott's Berry Farm. It's in Ghost Rider. They put that ugly fast pass or fast lane machine, the black monolith thing. They didn't even theme it. I mean, ew.
I mean, I saw that thing, right? That big black box. It looks like a giant ATM, basically.
Giant ATM.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, can you at least like paint it brown so it matches the wood?
I mean, at least do that. Best case, put some rock work above it and like kind of theme it. But just black, like someone just stole something from the mall and just placed it over there.
Yeah, like zero care given. This is actually from Andy Castro, and the reason why I'm sharing this, Wizard, because I think Andy kind of sets it up really nicely. He has a good way of like kind of wording what's going on here. But he says here it's pretty disappointing to see Knott's open Camp Snoopy and it be such a disaster. Main entrance marquee not finished, bridges, caves closed, unfinished, new stage canceled. Okay, there's our answer. The new stage has been canceled. Yeah, restaurant overhaul canceled. That's crazy. Camp swing unfinished. Beagle Express train unfinished. What a mess. So it's like, there's a lot going on here. I think honestly, Wizard, right now, I think that the theme park companies are really bracing for a really soft summer, and they're kind of pulling back on the purse strings a little bit. We're seeing cuts in entertainment, not just at Disney, kind of across the board. Shenanigans like this over at Knott's. Something's going on. In my opinion.
And see, my case is like, if the land's not ready, go and take the hit. Like why? And it looks worse to open up this half land thing than just wait until if it's ready until Halloween. Wait till Halloween. Open up for Knott's Scary Farm at time.
What was the big rush to open it now? Was it the summer or something? Or
well, it's supposed to open Memorial Day, then they are delayed. June 27th. I think they really just want to have something for the summer. Okay, but it's clearly not ready. So it's okay to not have some for the summer, especially for Knott's. They pride themselves on entertainment. They have the Ghost Town Alive going on. There's many other things to do. It's not like there's nothing to do at Knott's, you know. Even for kids, you know, there's plenty of other things to do. They can go to Ghost Town Alive, Knott's Summer Nights, enjoy that great entertainment. They don't need to rush the Camp Snoopy. I don't know why I felt the need to just quickly open it, especially based on the reception they're getting. It would have been way better to just wait, finish it up, and open it when it's actually ready, like they've done Fiesta Village, and the rest of the renovations look beautiful. So I don't know what happened with this time. It's kind of very strange.
Yeah. It was a botched opening. I was watching Five Fires and he was covering it too, and it's like it just doesn't look good. It's not a good showing. I mean, I understand there's certain things, like for example, right? Like when Toontown opened in what was it, 93? We didn't get Cartoon Spin for like another year. Okay. But the rest of the land looked done. It looked completed. It was like, okay, so you just don't have one ride open yet. Fine. But like when you're dealing with what you're seeing here at Camp Snoopy, like what Andy just laid out from 21 Royal Street, just laid out thing after thing after thing after thing. I agree with you, Wizard. At that point, you wait until you have something that's worthy to show to the public. Right now, it's not ready for prime time, and it shows. And you only have one chance to make a first impression, and this is your first impression. You're leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. So now, even when you open the other stuff, you've already tainted the opinion.
Yeah, and like I said, I get it. It rained a lot this year and last year, and that's what caused the initial delay. Lots of rain. It's okay. Like, people understand if there's a rain delay.
Yeah.
Most people
absolutely
will understand. So you don't need to like rush it. Like, we get it. It was pouring. Toontown, same thing. It was pouring, right? And so they had a delayed opening. Well, you can't work in the rain, and rain messes things up that maybe you've already built. Then you have to repaint some. It's okay. Take the extra time. You don't have to go ahead and surprise. And then I guess they delayed the grand opening time on the day. They were good communication on when the ceremony would be, so that people were just walking around for a couple hours wondering when it was. And they pushed it back. It was very bad communication and just very bad overall. Like, that's a very, very weird of Knott's to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and they historically handle things better, which is kind of surprising to me. That like the past few years have been iffy with them, which is interesting. And this is leading up to the new management. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, Six Flags hasn't even taken over yet, or the merger hasn't really even officially really. I think it's July. I think it's July 1st. Yeah. So in a few days, but it's like they haven't even taken over yet, and we're already seeing issues. That's concerning. What's going to happen when you have all those Six Flags people on the board? Then what? If it's bad now? Oh my God!
Not only that, but you have a whole bunch of more parks to manage. Not just the few they have now. They have all these Six Flags parks. But I wonder if it will be a case of too much on their plate. Type of thing.
Yeah. No. Exactly. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I haven't been for last time I went to Knott's was like 30 years ago or something crazy. I went recently in October, and I had a good time. I mean, I love the train. I love, there's a lot there that I love. The Ghost Town is awesome. It has a lot of charm for especially for like a regional park, but hopefully they don't destroy that. Hopefully they don't keep making decisions that nick away at that. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it'll be a very interesting thing, because I'm not sure. There's so far no rumors on what's coming for 2025. And I wonder if there'll be anything. Yeah, that'll be very, very interesting. And comment below. Have you been to the Knott's opening? Yeah. I was going to go. I was going to cover it, but they just with all the delays, I just wasn't sure. I'm like, it's a long drive to go do a construction update, so I just stopped going up there. I just went to Disney instead. Yeah.
No, I feel you. Now, are you a season pass holder at Knott's?
I was. I have the platinum one, and I think it expires either this month or next month. And I went one time.
Yeah, that's how I am. I don't even know what one I have. I don't even know. I do have a season pass. I don't even know what one I have. I just upgraded my ticket. But yeah, I went once. I don't know. I like Knott's. The only issue though for me is I don't like a lot of roller coasters and stuff. So it's like kind of like there's not a whole lot of offerings for me. I mean, I can spend all day eating. I mean, that's cool, I guess. But
maybe it was some good ribs. I love those boysenberry hot boysenberry sausages. Those are very good.
yeah, exactly. They have great food, and they got a really good dining plan. It's like $30 for like the whole day or something crazy like that. But yeah, it's a long drive for us. Like we're not too far from each other. It's like an hour to go down there.
Yeah,
and for me personally, I'm not gonna go. Yeah, with LA traffic and all that stuff, you know. So to go all the way down there for 3 rides and some barbecue, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and especially when the operations aren't that great, when it takes so long those lines are so long to just get something going, you know. They're not like Disney and Universal have these very fast operations, but Knott's, they just really gotta take it. Knott's and Superfast, they just kind of take their time. Like, these empty seats, they don't really do single riders, they have like these empty seats, so they don't fill up the trains. Like, it's very hard to justify going all the way down. I think Fresh Baked, when he was at Knott's one time, he did like a test of waiting in line. I think for the stagecoach, there's only one stagecoach. Very cool ride. I probably don't want to do it, but the line's so long. It's like it's like an old style people mover type of thing, you know? And then there was like 15 people in front of him, he said, and it took like 45 minutes because there's only one stagecoach, and only 6 people can get on the stagecoach. I'm like, why not just have 3 of them going around? It's like a fairly long track. I'll just take up or at least 2, and go ahead and take up eat up the line a little bit, but simple things like that, you know.
I've noticed that when I was there the last time, it was like the lines weren't even that long, but they took forever. Everything took forever, you know.
Yeah, and seeing something like that again is a very simple fix. It doesn't require a lot of money, you know. It doesn't require a lot of investment. You can just go ahead and do it, speed it up. You know, that's on the training. You know how they train their, I don't know what they call them, employees.
Yeah.
Do it faster, exactly. You know, like simple training, just get that done in like literally like a couple months. They can get the operations a little bit better. But I don't know what their training costs. They just take too long there. So that's something. Unfortunately, Six Flags, like I said, is no better. So with the merger, I don't expect that to improve. In fact, to make it worse.
Yeah, exactly. They need to turbocharge their operations. They need to
get Daddy Josh and turbocharge their operations. See, and I wonder because some of my friends were talking about not with this, but a lot of people, they talk about AI taking over people's jobs, right? Robots. I wonder. I mean, especially with these cheaper amusement park companies. Do you think one day maybe there'll be like an automatic dispatch, like you don't even have the ride operator there? It'll just be like a computer, and there's like a timer. It says your restraints will lock down in 5 seconds or 30 seconds, and maybe there'll be like a team member there to make sure everyone's in. Then it kind of does like auto operations, like
I could
30 seconds to do it and keep going,
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see something like that happening in the years to come. Yeah. I mean, we're already talking about and we already have self-driving cars. They're not like super mainstream, but the technology is out there. I could see that. I could see that definitely happening. Yeah. Now, at Disneyland, though, it's going to be interesting with stuff like that because I don't know how it is at Knott's, but the cast members at Disney, a lot of them are unionized. Mm-hmm. So they might have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, see, Disney, that would be the one thing I actually don't think they need because they're just pretty fast at Disney. So I feel like they don't, and they have enough money to pay them. They have a lot of boys, and they have like the studio behind them. But stuff like these regional parks, like Knott's and Six Flags, they're always trying to cut up and save a buck. So I feel like that might be one of the first things they do to like really save a buck and not hire people. Because those people, they hire a lot of seasonal, those summertime teenagers and stuff. With that, you wouldn't need to hire those guys at all. So it'd be very interesting. Yeah, no,
I bet you stuff like that is gonna. There's gonna be stuff like that happening in the years to come.
They got you that black ATM for the fast lane machines.
That's incredible, man. I was shocked when I saw that. I'm going to give Knott's the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they haven't like dressed it up yet. We'll see, but
Yeah,
that
maybe
looks
it might be a
terrible.
temporary, like, oh my gosh! But like I said, even the paint job, like, why is it black? Can you even make it a brown one? Like, nothing.
Yeah, just paint it brown. You know, you can make it look like wood, or at least try. But it's like carbon brown. I mean, it's like carbon black gray or whatever. It looks like an ATM, like straight up ATM.
And even if they keep that color, the placement's very off. Like, at least place it kind of hidden inside the queue, so people have to walk in there and then they can do it. But maybe, like, because of that nice rock work, maybe they hide it inside the rock work, so it just looks like this dark thing hidden in the corner, and you can buy it there. But just like smack dab right in front of the entrance, like, horrible placement.
Yeah, it is. It was like zero care was put into that, and maybe it'll be temporary. Maybe they'll replace it with something a little bit more sightly. Who knows? But that looks really bad. If Disney did that, oh my gosh. Oh jeez. Could you imagine? I mean, Twitter would be a buzz.
Disney would be trending all week.
Oh my god, yeah, it would be crazy. If Disney did anything like that, it'd be crazy. Yeah, I mean that would be absolutely wild. Yeah, hopefully not. Well, I mean, Disney has done some pretty egregious things, but that's pretty high up there. That one.
I mean, all the fast pass machines were beautifully themed. I miss those themed fast pass machines.
Yeah,
those are very cool. Like, God, I wish they'd bring those back. Like, even if the paid thing, I still like. And they should, honestly, actually, now I think about it, they should bring the Lightning, well, to be Lightning Lane Plus, whatever, machines back, beam them. Because what if someone doesn't have a cell phone,
Right, exactly. What about like older people that are like, like elderly that don't really use their phones?
Yeah, then they can go back to their nice theme machine, still be the same thing, they pay for it for the day, whatever, and then, they get a ticket or whatever. It's such a trap scene they took, though. I really like the Tower of Terror ones because it was like a whole bunch of like suitcases all stacked up. That was a beautifully themed thing. So frustrating.
Yep. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. It's a new day, and it changes fast. Like we had Genie Plus. Now we just have Lightning Lane multi-day, Lightning Lane multi-pass, or whatever. I don't know. The name. That's the thing with the branding is terrible. Like I think that they should have just had. I think they should have had Fast Pass and just made it digital and paid. That would have been fine. Yeah. But they didn't want to do that though, because then they would have to change to all the signage, and that's expensive, And I understand that, but Lightning Lane, and then the way they do it, Lightning Lane multi-pass, Lightning Lane single pass, it's just clunky and doesn't sound right, and it's, I think, still confusing. And I think the thing too, Wizard, is get rid of the individual Lightning Lanes. I would rather them just not have Rise of the Resistance even in the system for that than have the individual Lightning Lanes, because I think that's where a lot of the confusion's coming from,
It's like, wait, I just bought a Lightning Lane. Why do I have to buy another one? And they're like, well, it's not part of the same. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, just don't have it included then, and just have one Lightning Lane. And like Universal, I think they do that, right? Where some rides are not on there.
Yeah, and then everything is on Express. There's an Express, but something's not on there, and then it's not there.
Just do it that way. Just simplify it. I think there are some things on this new system that are good, but I think overall, I think it still is kind of confusing, and they can do some stuff to improve it.
Yeah, and back to your point, they should have definitely just, even before Genie Plus, they could have just made it fast. They could just have Fast Pass, made it all paid and digital, just not even change the name to Genie Plus in the first place. And that way, they keep all the signs. It would save them a lot of money too, because they wouldn't have to change it to Lightning Lane. It would have been Fast Pass. They just pay for it now. That was a weird, maybe Chapek-y decision. Who knows?
Yeah. It is weird. It's a weird thing. I think they kind of got married to the Lightning Lane terminology because of the signage and stuff. But if you're going to revamp the system, which I think it needed a revamp, I commend them for at least trying to revamp it. But if you're going to
the wait, you can do it a few days before now. Like it kind of was like Fast Pass Plus at Disney World. That seems pretty good, because who wants to do it like at 7 a.m. and do it the day of? Like, that's annoying,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So we'll see what happens with that whole thing. I don't really use it, to be honest with you. I mean, when I have like friends that come down here, like when George comes down or something, we might use it, you know, occasionally. But for the most part, I don't really use it. I'm not like somebody that like, hits a lot of rides every visit because I'm local. I come all the time. But I honestly don't have that much experience with even using Lightning Lane or Genie Plus. You know, what about you, Ethan? I mean, I know that you're local like me. I mean, and you're there all the time too. Do you even bother with it, or you just kind of do? You're like,
really. We only when, like you said, when guests come to town or I go with a group of people. Usually I'm by myself, so I just kind of use a single rider for my favorite ones like Matterhorn or Space Mountain. Then kind of chill out. If there's a short line, I'll wait in it. But like I said, we're passwords, so there's really no rush for me to ride everything every single time. You know, I mostly just walk around, enjoy the atmosphere, ride a couple of short lines or single riders, and go home. But if I'm going with something like that for the first time, and I'm like, oh my, this is your first time or only time in like years. All right, we need to. We really should hit this attraction. And if they don't like to wait long line, I'm like, all right, let's go buy Genie Plus, and that way you can definitely ride this 100% guaranteed because I think you'll love it type of thing. But that's
yeah, same here. If I have somebody come in that doesn't come all the time, I'll absolutely get it. You know, otherwise I go, I'll just, you know, I'll walk around, I'll eat, you know, and if I see a line, oh, it's 10 minutes, I'll go on it, you know, 30 minutes now, I'm not waiting in that, you know, so I just do that, you know, and if I miss something, I just I just do it next time, you know, I'm close enough where that's an option, so.
Yeah. And lastly, I want to get your thoughts on the Haunted Mansion reopening with virtual queue. What do you think about that?
See, that's interesting. Because it's kind of like the Knot situation, isn't it? It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like they're trying to rush it open. I think because they, you know, maybe summer or there could be a myriad of reasons why, but
like holiday going up.
Yeah, they're trying to get it open, but you're giving kind of like a half-ass experience. I don't really like it. I honestly, I probably won't do it. I'll probably just wait till it opens. That's just kind of my take on it, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I think they should just sort of like keep it closed, finish it, and then open it, you know? And if people, you know, complain about that, then, oh, well, I mean, you know, that's the thing too, is like, you can't have, like as fans, we can't have it both ways, right? Like if we want them to fix stuff and invest, that's going to cause inconvenience in the short term. So if we want them to invest, they have to fix the crowding and the congestion over in front of Haunted Mansion. It's a mess. So I'm glad they're addressing it. But there's going to be some short-term pain to get that long-term gain. You know what I'm saying? But this kind of solution that Disney's giving us, where they kind of just like, we'll give you the virtual queue in the meantime. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they should just keep it closed, finish it, you know, and then open it when it's actually ready. Same as with what I said with the Knott's Camp Snoopy stuff.
Yeah, and I know there's gonna be a lot of stuff closed during D23. I've seen some online discourse about that, but hey, it's better than it's sitting there breaking. I mean, look, you're gonna fix the lights in Space Mountain. That'd be pretty cool when it's open.
You gotta address this stuff, and in order to address stuff, you gotta shut things down. You know, shut them down, just like Blackpink, right?
I think. I mean, I know they have to fix the lights in Space Mountain, but they've been gone for so long. I don't know. I have this maybe little theory that maybe they're getting ready for a little Tomorrowland revamp. Who knows? I don't know. I feel like, you know, they're closing during D23, right? Maybe that's the first step in something. Who knows? Because, you know, those lights, especially in that tunnel, been gone out for like years, right?
Man, I haven't been on Space Mountain in years, so I wouldn't. I mean, has it been that long? I haven't been on that ride in a long time.
No, like every time I go on it for a while, it's been like dark in there. So I'm like, oh, now they decided I want to fix it now. Maybe it's a start. Maybe it's the start of something new.
Little High School Musical, like that synergy, you know.
That's great.
Bob Iger applauds you, Wizard.
Man. Yeah, D23 will be great. I know you guys can get tickets, but yeah. I'll be live streaming the live stream. Are you guys plan to live stream the live stream or do a reaction afterwards?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the parks panel. We're gonna do a reaction.
Yeah,
to
the
it.
parks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we can get our raw reactions when they announce stuff. So we'll see. You know, it'll either be really good, you know, or maybe we'll have some disappointments. We'll see. It'll be fun to watch. I really want to hear about this Pandora thing. I really want to know what park it's in. I really want to know how they're going to tie it into the existing resort. You know, hopefully it'll be in the Simba lot, which I'm thinking is where it will go, but we'll see.
I want to hear the most important thing is that it starts next year or something, like date starting, you know, something.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier too. I mean, yeah, because you're at the point now where the announcements aren't enough almost, where they have to give us some concrete, like reassurances that these things are actually going to happen, right? So, you know, say like, okay, we have Pandora, we're starting on it in 6 months, and you know, early 2025, you know, we're going to break ground on it. You know, Avengers e-ticket, we've already broke ground on it. It opens in 3 years, whatever, you know, but they have to give us that now because Daddy Josh has sort of broken that trust the last couple expos when he did all this blue sky stuff. And with all the uncertainty around the Avengers e-ticket, and even with the Epcot stuff, that a lot of that stuff was canceled and changed. So I think they have to really make fans feel secure that whatever they announce, it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm more confident this time than last time because you see the permits being filed in Disney World, and then Disney Land Forward got approved, and then they figured out there was stuff with the CTFOD. So I think all that government stuff's done. I think they really actually have no excuse now. So they, for some reason, didn't do anything. It would be all on them. But now, like before, you can kind of say, you know, oh, maybe DeSantis like holding things up for, you know, Disneyland Forward. They have no space. Now that's approved, so I feel like now it's full steam ahead. I think they will be more active than they have recently now that all that behind-the-scenes government stuff is done. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. We are seeing permits being filed. We're seeing stuff like that. And like I said, also, this matters a lot for DeMario's career and stuff too. He can't get up there and have the wrong headlines. So he's going to deliver, I think, on the announcements, almost certainly. But we'll see. Will we like the announcements? We'll see. You know, I mean, I think we'll get a lot of stuff. I'm excited though. I am. I mean, I you know, I'm ready for some new stuff at DCA. That's kind of where my head's at right now. I just want that park to get fleshed out, you know, and it needs it badly. More than anything, I would be fine, honestly, Wizard. I'd be fine if it was all for Anaheim. If all the announcements were DCA and very little Disneyland, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, you know, and I hope they'll get some nice significant investment, and we'll see because just in 6 weeks or so, we'll be right here. That'll be very exciting. And thank you, OG55, for joining me on this Saturday morning coffee talk. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Orange Grove 55 on YouTube, where we do all kinds of content on theme parks. We do studio, we do music, all of it. We talk all entertainment stuff, but mostly theme parks and mostly Disneyland Resort, West Coast. And you can find me on Twitter at Orange Grove 55, and you can find me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55. And Wizard, I want to thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, and I can't wait to come back on your channel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot of Universal stuff. We can get you on back on the channel, talk Universal. Maybe we'll add theme park conductor into that conversation. He's been doing some great stuff over on his channel too with Universal. Choo-choo. So yeah.
Nothing can stop us now.
There we go. Since we're talking trains, you know.
Oh yeah, he like a choo-choo drop. And everyone, thank you for watching on Twitter and YouTube, and please subscribe down below for more good stuff. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah.